A secret AEW signing has been confirmed, but first we have the latest on the future of this upcoming free agent. The year of 2024 will see a number of major stars potentially hit the free agency market, with several top contracts on the verge of expiration across companies such as AEW, WWE, and NJPW. One of the names that will almost certainly be contractless come February is current IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion Will Ospreay, whose New Japan Pro-Wrestling deal is coming to an end. Over recent weeks, reports have confirmed that both WWE, AEW, and TNA are interested in his services once the Aerial Assassin becomes available to sign, with us now having an update on the former. According to a fresh report from Fightful Select, WWE have made preliminary overtures to Ospreay pending his soon-to-be free agency status, with there said to be heavy interest from the Stamford-based promotion, and they would write, WWE has shown heavy interest, and sources within the company claim that there have been conversations and contact between the two sides, though those close to Ospreay would not confirm as such. TNA and AEW both maintain interest in Ospreay and have both said to have enjoyed working with him. We aren't sure the natures of the deals being discussed, as NXT Europe, Impact becoming TNA, and adjusting many elements of production and stepping up their European presence, all taking shape. However, Ospreay predictably has interest from all over the world. New Japan sources would confirm that whilst they'd love to lock Ospreay down to another contract and keep him around, they do not anticipate that another full-time contract can be struck. Next up, 3 huge matches have been added to WWE Survivor Series. Last night's episode of Monday Night Raw would take fans one step closer to the Survivor Series event on November 25th, with the scenes following the show's main event setting up this year's men's War Games match, the stipulation that was confirmed to be returning this past weekend. The episode would be headlined by a bout for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, with Seth Rollins defending his title against Sami Zayn, who prevented Damian Priest from cashing in during the Visionaries' prior defense against Drew McIntyre at Crown Jewel. As a thank you, Rollins would offer Zayn a title shot on the start of the show last night, a proposal that he was happy to accept. The match itself went the way of the champion, however, as Seth was able to secure the win when he reversed a Boston Crab into a cradle pin for the 1-2-3. With that said, the Crown Jewel assist from Zayn wasn't forgotten, as Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough of Judgment Day would wipe Sami out from behind as he made his way out of the ring, with an attempted save from Rollins not being enough to prevent the numbers advantage. Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes would then show up to even the odds, this before security and referees were able to get a hold of the situation. This then led to Raw General Manager Adam Pearce heading to the ring to confirm that the 8 men will meet at Survivor Series in War Games. Elsewhere on the show, The Miz was able to secure his spot on the pay-per-view after he won the 4-way #1 contenders match for a shot at Gunther's WWE Intercontinental title, overcoming the challenge of Ivar, Bronson Reed, and Ricochet, with the title bout now confirmed to be taking place at Survivor Series. One more title match was added to the Chicago event after Zoe Stark came out on top after the Women's Battle Royal, earning herself a shot at Rhea Ripley's Women's World Championship on November 25th. Next up are WWE trolling CM Punk fans. And speaking of Survivor Series, the internet has been filled with theories as to what the future holds for CM Punk, who was recently terminated from his All Elite Wrestling contract following the backstage incidents of AEW All in London. Many have assumed that Punk could be set to make his WWE return at Survivor Series in his hometown of Chicago on November 25th, with this feeling like a natural home for such a comeback were it to take place, although WWE sources recently reached out to Fightful as to not leave the crowd disappointed come the end of the show. However, it seems that some names haven't got the memo, with fans feeling they've spotted several references to the Second City Saint, which has only fanned the rumour flames that WWE are apparently looking to cool down. On last night's episode of Raw, there would be seemingly 2 more references to CM Punk on the show, both of which being quotes from his 2 WWE entrance songs. During the aforementioned fatal 4-way Intercontinental #1 contenders match, commentator Wade Barrett would say, "This fire is burning inside The Miz," a peculiar line in isolation. Many are now taking this as a quote from the "This Fire Burns" lyrics from the music used in CM Punk's early days in WWE. On top of this, there was also a line from Cult of Personality used on the show, with Michael Cole proclaiming that Seth Rollins is going to look into the eyes of Sami Zayn. As always, this could well be a coincidence or even a mere troll job from WWE's commentary team to get fans talking about the show, but I guess only time will tell. But this keeps happening week after week. Next up, AEW is set for a significant sponsorship with a top gaming company. On last week's episode of Dynamite, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, aka the Golden Jets, would defeat Daddy Magic Matt Menard and Cool Hand Angelo Parker in tag team action, which led to a challenge issued by Don Callis, who called for an 8-man tag street fight with the Don Callis family. The match was then confirmed with Paul White and Kota Ibushi being confirmed as Jericho and Omega's partners. Well, according to a report from Fightful Select, the match is set to include an integration from video game company Sega, and they would take to last night's select portions to write. As mentioned, there is a significant sponsorship involvement planned for the Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, Paul White and Kota Ibushi tag team match. We're told that content was filmed to promote it. We've learned that this is with Sega. It's currently unknown which Sega franchise will be included in the spot, although you'd imagine that we are set to see members of the teams dressed up as certain characters. Next up, WWE are closing in on the signing of a top international star. Over recent years, World of Stardom have churned out many of the top female wrestling stars of today, with the likes of Jamie Hayter, Io Sky, Kairi Sane and Toni Storm all making their way through the Japanese all-women's promotion at one point. Another star that's been making a name for herself inside Stardom of late is Julia, with her often tipped by the Joshi community as the next breakout star from the scene. In recent times, it's been reported that All Elite Wrestling have been in talks with the company to bring in the 29-year-old via their working relationship with Stardom's parent company Bushi Road, who also own New Japan Pro-Wrestling, although a deal has yet to be agreed. However, it seems that WWE may be about to beat them to the punch, as a recent Fightful Select report has revealed that the reigning Artist of Stardom champion and NJPW Strong Women's Champion is set to attend the Performance Center this month, and they would write. They also reported that things are serious enough that Julia is expected at the Performance Center this month. We can confirm that WWE has interest in her, and she was considered a priority acquisition, per one source that we spoke with. We now wait to find out what's next for Julia in the weeks ahead, although it's worth mentioning that Dave Meltzer would recently claim that no such move would be able to happen until at least March due to contractual restraints, but we'll just have to see how things play out, with there being conflicting reports on the situation. And speaking of signings, a WWE target has been signed to another wrestling promotion. In March 2023, NXT star Sarray would choose to leave WWE at the end of her contract, instead returning to Japan to work for various Joshi wrestling promotions. Over recent weeks, we've heard that WWE are interested in bringing her back into the fold. However, it looks like this is no longer happening. Earlier this week, startup New York-based Joshi promotion Sukeban would release a statement to confirm that Sarray, now once again known as Sari, has signed a long-term contract with the company, and the statement reads, Sukeban, a Japanese female wrestling league, today announced that it has signed Sari to a multi-year contract with the world-class performer set to debut at Sukeban's second event, which will take place next month in Miami. Sari today announced that she has chosen to join her longtime friends in Sukeban's Cherry Bomb Girls stable. Fightful Select have since released a report to discuss the signing and WWE's interest in bringing Sari back, confirming that the company had started work in making the move happen. The report then provided a direct quote from a WWE source who noted, "There's no ill on our side. We didn't think she'd end up back here. There was no creative plan set for her, and she wasn't contacted. Her name was mentioned, and she was liked within the company, so there were some preliminary things discussed about trying to bring her back. This deal probably works out better for her." And next, a secret AEW signing has been leaked. With all the talk of the future of certain Joshi wrestlers, we can now add another name to the list of stars being signed. Over recent months, former AEW Dark and Elevation talent Megan Bayne has become an established member of the Stardom roster, working a total of 37 matches for the promotion already this year. However, it's now been revealed that she's been doing so whilst under contract with All Elite Wrestling, a contract that was signed a number of months ago. Fightful Select would break the news last night and would report, top indie prospect Megan Bayne isn't actually an indie prospect, Fightful has learned. Bayne has been under AEW contract for months, although she hasn't been on television in the company in months. Bayne instead was sent by AEW to work in Stardom months ago and has been refining her work there. It's also interesting to see an AEW talent work a litany of Stardom dates as of late, a favour that could be returned at some point in the future. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 shocking Roman Reigns facts that WWE wants you to forget.